Not a whole lot to report, if I'm honest. We're still doing very, very well. We have just dropped out of the playoff places, but we're not expected to be in the playoff places, so that's actually still quite a cool thing to say. And we've got a really, really good chance of progressing in the FA Cup, because today we do come across a Premier League team, but it's bottom of the table, West Bromwich Albion. So if we want to progress in the FA Cup, we need to take that chance. How you doing, everybody, and welcome to part 16 of Club 2 of my career here on FM23. I'm Stu. Thank you for joining me in today's video, where we've got games against Barnsley in the Championship, and as I previously mentioned, a game against bottom of the Premier League table, West Bromwich Albion, in the FA Cup. And I just had to stifle a burp there. I do apologise, but as you can see, they are bottom of the Premier League. It is a team we've got a chance of doing something against, so we need to see whether we can actually do it. I mean, we beat Crystal Palace on penalties, but we beat them nonetheless, and they are 9 points behind them, so fingers crossed we can do something. And if you're excited to see whether we can do something, please do not forget to leave a like on the video for me and subscribe to the channel as well, so you don't miss any of the lovely Football Manager nonsense that comes out of this space right here. Since you were last with us, we've been good. We've settled into the form I was hoping we would settle into before we had such a good start. So you can see we've actually not won the majority of our games. Like, if you look through the season, I mean, we had an unbeaten September, which is fantastic, and we won more games than we lost. Well, actually, we won the same amount of games that we lost in the first month of the season. We've settled into a pattern now where we're still winning games every now and then, but we're not winning all, like, as many of them or the majority of them. So the month of November, we only won 2, but we won more than we lost. We had 2 draws in there as well, but we won more than we lost. The month of December, we won the same amount as we lost, with a couple of draws in there as well. So we've got a positive points difference, if that makes sense. We've gained more points than we've lost, and I'm okay with that. I mean, we lost against Luton twice, which is a bit painful. We lost against Peterborough, but against then top of the table Nottingham Forest and then second in the table Bristol City, we beat both of them 2-1. I don't know, but we did struggle against Luton, we did struggle against Peterborough. Swansea was heartbreaking because we went, I think did we go 1-0 down? Apologies, someone at the door. We went 1-0 down. We then blitzed them with 3 goals and conceded 2, not necessarily late goals, but we conceded 2 goals and we just could not get them back. So that was very disappointing. And we did get a draw against Watford. That was nice. And then we battered Rotherham. To be fair, Rotherham having a miserable season, 23rd in the Championship. So we really should have been doing well against them. But it was nice to see Tommy Lee blitzing into form with a hat-trick, which was very nice to see. We had a heavily rotated team in a lot of respects as well. No Sam Barnes. We didn't even have a Pia Forson starting. He actually gave away that penalty that Joe Powell scored, but then redeemed it with the assist for Tommy Lee's 3rd goal. Really good game, actually, considering we mostly rotated the side from this team, which got the draw against Watford. I think we did really well. But enough about all of that. It's all about the games against Barnsley and West Brom, and this is going to be the 11 that we're using for the game against Barnsley. It is Bergstrom in goal, Lyons, Foster, Barnes, O'Brien and Coulson in defence, Doyle, Shackleton, Hanson, Aaron and Robinson in the midfield, with Liam Benjamin leading the line. Amari Benjamin, I'm going to have a quick word about him. Considering, when we signed him, I was really like, oh God, is he the right player? He's in a rich vein of form. I mean, look at this. There's only 3 games he's not scored in, and he got an assist in 1 of them. He's in the form of his life. He's currently keeping either Emerson or Lee out of the team. Now, granted, we could put Tommy Lee as the attacking midfielder as a shadow striker, and we could put Emerson in. Emerson has had a bit of a knock. We're also giving him a bit of a rest as well. In terms of his form, I don't think he's quite in the same rich vein of form. Now, we had his rich vein of form there, and then, yeah, he had a bit of a knock. Wasn't selected for a couple of games to give him a bit of a rest, and he's featured in the last couple of games, but he's not firing completely. So while we've got 2 strikers in form, it makes sense to keep them in the team. I know Zach Emerson's an important player at this club, at least for me he is, but there's no point just wedging him in for the sake of it. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to see if we can get 3 points from this game. We are away from home, but we have proven many times in the past that that doesn't necessarily matter to us. We can get results away from home and it's not a bother. So let's see whether we can do the same today. And fingers crossed, we do a good job. I'd quite like us to. I'd quite like 3 points. I've got a feeling a draw is on the cards. Don't ask me why. I've just got a feeling about it. But we'll see what happens. We'll see if everything goes okay. I do need to adjust this, though, because I did play the last game on my laptop. So we do need to make sure. Oh, why went Alex Patterson? Why do I care about you? I don't care about you. Need to make sure this is correct. There we go. That's more like it. I played the last few games on my laptop, so I'd kept it. I always change the setup a little bit. Well, it changes automatically because the screen's not the same size, obviously. But I did remember this time to change it from 2D because my laptop doesn't really cope well with the 3D match engine. So I did remember, Tommy Lee, I did remember to change it back to 3D, and I got the settings just so, but I forgot about that bit. So I can't be good at everything. I can be good at Football Manager. Well, that's debatable. But I can be good at some things, but not necessarily all of them. Speaking of which, we're good at many things at the moment, but in this particular game, scoring a goal's a problem. Although it is only half an hour in, so maybe I'm being a bit unfair. I'm looking for something from Hansen Aaron in this game, because he disappears for ages and then pops up with a goal every now and then, and I'd quite like him to do that today. Although it looks like we might be conceding a goal. We have. Tyler Burry scored, but I think... Is it offside? I thought the camera was about to pan then. It's not offside. We've just conceded a goal. I'm a little bit disappointed about that. I'm going to encourage the boys. Hopefully the encouragement does the job. But it's a disappointing one from us. Patterson. I clicked on Patterson. That's the problem. The Football Manager coach, you click on a player of the opposite team and they have a good game. And Burry goes and makes it 1-0 to Barnsley, who are, I think, 15th, 16th or something like that. So, to be fair to them, they probably would have been hoping for a bit better this season. So, it is what it is. They're probably where we should be. Again, I'm expecting us to continue this kind of mixed form at the moment. And we're not doing too badly at all. When we do things like that, it's not great. And what a strike that is from Alex Patterson. What did I tell you? We clicked on him. And he's going to go and have a worldie. What a goal that is. I mean, there's nothing we can do about that. I'm really frustrated by it because it's such a good goal. I mean, hands off the controls. We need to watch this again. Bentley launches it out. It's O'Brien with the really poor header. He heads it down to him. Gets the assist, if you will. And what a strike that is. I give the blame to O'Brien for heading the ball down into the path of an opponent. But what an absolute worldie of a strike. And I'm disappointed because we have had the chances, but we can't put the ball in the back of the net at the moment, apparently. Right, Doyle whipping it in. He's missed the last few games due to injury. Hopefully he can get things going today. But at the moment, we're not looking like we can. It's a great tackle from Jamie Shackleton. And now maybe we go again. Lyons Foster goes all the way back to Bergstrom, which is a bit disappointing. Hopefully he can do something. Amari Benjamin, I've talked him up and how good his form has been recently. He's been absolutely non-existent in this game, apparently, looking at his rating. Right, Shackleton to Lyons Foster. Lee now looking for the ball over the top to Robinson. It's actually going to fall to Benjamin, and Amari Benjamin actually gets a goal back for us. After I've just slated him for doing absolutely nothing, Tommy Lee finds his strike partner, Amari Benjamin, and we make it 2-1. We've got a chance in this game. We've got a chance. It's just before half-time as well. It's a great time to score. Ozzy Robinson sensibly leaves it to the striker, Amari Benjamin, who's, I think, got better finishing than Ozzy Robinson. And it is 2-1. And we actually have time for one more highlight. And we start with the ball. So maybe, just maybe, we've got time to get level before half-time. That'd be fantastic. We've had it happen to us so many times in the past with other teams doing it. It'd be nice if we could do it to a team. That'd be lovely. That'd be absolutely lovely. Right, big ball over the top. And Amari Benjamin has the ball. And Amari Benjamin has done just that. And it is 2-2. I am delighted. I am very delighted with that. And that changes the game completely. I'm disappointed we conceded the 2 goals. I've mentioned that second goal was just a freak worldie, but O'Brien should take some responsibility for it. But that is a lovely little pass. And Benjamin does really, really well and just pokes it past the keeper. And we go in at half-time all level. And that is the most important thing after conceding those 2 goals. That will do plenty. So, who's having the worst game here? I mean, what we're going to say? We're going to say, keep it up. We're going to say keep it up. Right, in terms of performances, the only bad player at the moment is Lyons Foster, but he's not even had that bad a game. So I am going to tell him that he needs to step things up. And we've got no one really on a really bad game, so we'll just tell everyone. Just improve. Just try and keep going, because we've looked unplayable in those last few minutes, and if we can keep that up, that would be great. I do think, however, we're going to bring Frankie Darbo on, because Frankie Darbo has got a good game in him. Let's trust him and let's see whether he can do the job. Right, second half, let's see what we can do. Fingers crossed it's get another goal or 2. I would like that quite a bit. Right, the ball comes forward. Benjamin can't get there, though, and it's now with Gaffney. And all of a sudden, Barnsley Looking a bit more like they were at the start of the first half, but if we can nick the ball off of them and go at the other end, I'd be really, really happy with that. Right, Kane, not that one. Looking to whip the ball in, he's going to just pass it off low. Now he goes to the edge of the area, and we don't do anything, and we nearly concede a really, really sloppy goal, and we need to be careful of that. We really need to be careful of that. Pattison is having such a good game. I don't think I did any opposition instructions. Pattison, right, let's have a quick look at you. What do you do? What are you being recommended? Apparently we should be marking you. Tell you what I do want to do. I want to press you. But we will also mark you as well. Jack Gaffney apparently isn't having a good time. We're going to go in hard on him. Live tactical changes here. And I think I've seen Herbie Kane on the ball a few times. So I think we're going to press him. He's quite slow. So let's try and get him to do a few things. And actually, we're going to press Daniel Bentley. Let's not give him any chance to give the ball out from the back. Let's just make sure that he cannot just play how he wants to play and just pass the ball around. It's a big ball in, and we've given that away, but Bergstrom manages to hold it strong. We are competing with Barnsley here. Again, not making excuses for it. We are away from home. Bear that in mind. We are away from home. Right, O'Brien actually finds a teammate this time. Hanson Aaron gives the ball away to Pattison. The worst player he could have given it away, and he's gone for the worldie again. And Hanson Aaron, I'm going to berate because he's just given the ball away there, and he needs to not do that. Right, Darbo with the free kick. Mari Benjamin didn't really look ready for it, but it's headed down to Bentley, and you can see Mari Benjamin lurking around. He doesn't want to let him lay it off short. I mean, he could come up here and just do a bit of a better job at it, but it's worked, and the big ball goes forward, and Darbo is going to claim it, and that did work there. Right, Shackleton. Heavy touch from Jamie Shackleton, and all of a sudden, oh, Sam Barnes like an absolute brick, and we have a chance now, and Amari Benjamin is through. And could we see an Amari Benjamin hat-trick here? No, we can't. No, we just can't. No. I think it's going to be substitute o'clock because we are giving them chances, but we are having some of our own. But I think we do need to freshen things up. Hanson Aaron and Jamie Shackleton. Although Jamie is having a good game, I have seen him give the ball away. But Hanson Aaron, I feel like, hasn't done anything in this match to really impress me, which is disappointing because they're just splitting us apart. And it's a defence-saving tackle. I know I criticised him in the first half, but what a tackle that was from O'Brien. Genuinely, that was a goal-saving tackle. It genuinely was. Lovely stuff. Right, Coulson to Hanson Aaron. Can Hanson Aaron prove me wrong? Goes back to Doyle, the playmaker. Looks for Amari Benjamin. Can he square it in? No, he doesn't, because he doesn't need to. Because he's gone and got a hat-trick. Back-to-back hat-tricks in games for different players. The first one was Tommy Lee in the last game, and this game, it's Amari Benjamin. Again, a player who I thought was going to just be a bit part player for us. Up until the last, 10 games he has been. But he has just set himself on fire sounds really dodgy. You know what I mean? He's playing well. Just leave it at that. Let's not overcomplicate things. And it's from a really tight angle as well, which is really nice to see. Amari Benjamin with a hat-trick. Lovely stuff to see. Now we just need to maintain things. Tommy Doyle having a really good game at the base of the midfield as well. We are going to make a substitution, and that substitution is going to be Hanson Aaron. We're actually going to bring Finley McAllister on because he had a really good game last time out, and I was very impressed with him. I would love to bring Frank Tidabo off, but considering he was a substitute himself, that feels a bit harsh. Ozzy Robinson's not had the best of games, so we are going to bring Ben Knight on, because Ben Knight every now and then just has a bit of magic in him, and we know that. We know he can do good things. A bit of a contract dispute with him at the moment. The problem is he is very much a League One player, but he wants to be a star player in the team. He's currently down as a star player, and he hasn't complained about it yet, but I'm expecting him to. But it might be time for us to move him on. I love him for the season he had last season. I love him for some of the moments he's had this season, but he is starting to not have as much impact on games as I'd like him to. Like, the good performances are still there, but they're few and far between. And Bishop has just danced past Doyle there, and I don't really know how. I mean, who is this Bishop? He's gone up front, is what he's done. They've changed the formation to a 4-4-2. And I have to say, Football Manager, for some reason, 4-4-2 always confuses me and the players that I put out there. But we've launched the ball forward, and Omari Benjamin's on the ball here, looking to get it forward, gets it to Lee. Lee holds it up, goes to Doyle. Doyle over the top, looking for Ben Knight, but he just overhits the pass. Looking for a hat-trick of assists today is Doyle. Couldn't quite get the job done there. I'm going to pause and make the last couple of changes now, I think. And we're just going to try and shore things up a little bit. I am going to change Frank Tidabo to a wing-back on support rather than a complete wing-back on support. I want it to be a little bit more defensively solid, and I don't quite think he's going to do that at the moment. We're going to take Amari Benjamin off, because although he's had a really good game, I want to get Zach Emerson a bit more game time, so we're going to bring him on. And I'm actually going to take Jake O'Brien off, although he's had a decent game. Let's bring Matty Pollock on. Swap him and Sam Barnes over. We'll have Matty Pollock be the guy over here just doing normal defensive stuff instead of Sam Barnes' normal cover defending. And we'll leave Sam Barnes over on this side. He's had a half-decent game. He's not been spectacular, though. And I think I might actually change Finley McAllister, put him at the base of the midfield. Tommy Doyle can come off for Rapaya Forson. And no, he won't because I've used all my substitutions. That's a fair point. That is a fair point. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, learn to count, Stu. Probably a good idea. Okay, do you know what? In that case, then, I'll make it a point to Zach Emerson. Keeping Amari Benjamin on. I'm going to do it that way. Making a point to my star man. Because, to be fair, Amari Benjamin has earned the right to stay on the pitch. He's been fantastic today. I would have only been taking him off to rest him and to give Zach Emerson a bit of football. But actually, he hasn't scored in a few games. He needs to know his position is at threat. Ben Knight is through here. And if Ben Knight can just focus a little bit, what a lovely chipped goal that is from Ben Knight. Seriously. When he's on fire, he's on fire. And that was a beautiful little goal. He has settled into the role of super sub this season. And I think we need to accept that that is all he's going to be good for, if that. We will proceed with the tactical changes. And that actually, if the result stays as it is, puts us back into the playoff places. It's Coulson, the left back, with the free kick. And he hits the crossbar, and it's very close to being a super goal for him, but it doesn't quite happen. Yeah, it looks like we will go into the playoff places if we manage to hold on to a win here. Ben Knight setting himself up for a shot. Bentley manages to hold on to it, though. And I'm very happy with that. Again, I was not expecting us to be anywhere near this. I feel like I've said that almost every season. Certainly, I said it in the season that we got promoted into the National League with Dartford. I remember saying it then. I didn't expect us to get promoted straight away, and then we did. I didn't expect us to get promoted last season in League 1 when we took Tranmere from League 2 to League 1. But we did. Amari Benjamin might be on for a fourth here. He is, you know. He's gone and made it 5-2. We were 2-0 down. We were 2-0 down up until the 45th minute. Was it the 45th minute? Yeah, I'm sure it was the 45th minute. And we've gone, and it looks like we're going to win this 5-2. It's Amari Benjamin with 4 of the goals, because it's Amari Benjamin's world right now, and we just live in it. Having a lovely time. I am having a lovely time. I mean, I'll happily take their resignation. Surrender. I couldn't think of the word surrender then. Oh, that's a concern. Anyway, I'll happily take their surrender now. We won't even play the last few minutes. There's no point. There's no point, guys. You've lost the game. You're not scoring 3 in the next couple of minutes. It's just not happening. Watch them do it now. They'll score 1 now, just to make me feel really nervous. What did I tell you? As it's happening, I knew it was going to happen. It was a spectacular goal, to be fair. Like, really well timed. And Bergstrom has had a great game. Let himself down there a little bit. Coming out of his goal like that. But we do go ahead and we do win the game. Just to confirm, Amari Benjamin with 2 goals inside 2 minutes. Did score his first and our first on the 45th minute. Changed the game completely. 5-3. Exciting game for the neutrals. I think that's the line. But that will do. That will do plenty. Very happy with that indeed. The perfect game for us to have just before the big game in the FA Cup against West Brom. I'm quite happy with that. Hopefully, we can take that momentum into that game. And as you can see, confirmation, with results going our way, Blackburn and Norwich not quite having enough about them to get into the playoff places. We are now 6th. That'll do. That will do plenty. Right, I think it's time to go and play West Bromwich Albion in the FA Cup. What could possibly go wrong? A little bit of transfer news just before we get to the West Brom game. Matty Daly has left the club. It's on loan. He is coming back. Probably look to sell him when he does come back. But he has left the club. He has gone to Wigan for the remainder of the season. Wigan, of course, in the Champion... No, they're in League 1. I keep thinking they're in the Championship. They're not. They're in League 1. So he's gone there. They're covering most of his wages. I'm okay with it. We have also got a few transfers on the go as well. Or at least potential transfers. So one we've definitely got on the go is we're looking at these two. I forgot to tell you about this one. Joe Gelhardt. Now, if you watched my Coventry save over on Twitch last year in FM22, Joe Gelhardt was a pretty good player for us. Problem is, I don't think we can actually fit him into the club at the moment. Because he's coming down as a winger. He's not a winger, he's a striker. don't really need a striker at the moment. But if we compare him to the players that we've got at the club, so for example, if we compare him to Amari Benjamin, who's doing so well at the moment, better technically, better vision, better physically, better mentally, he's actually better defensively. He's not quite as quick and not as good in the air, but he's still a very good player. I mean, if we go a step further, and let's compare him to Tommy Lee, you can see where this is going to be going in a minute. Tommy Lee. I mean, Tommy Lee's much better at defending, we know that. He's better in the air, same attacking, but again, Joe Gelhardt, better technically, better vision, better speed, better physical. And of course, we have to compare him to Zach Emerson, because that would just be rude not to. And Zach Emerson's actually quite limited when you look at him in this angle. He's better aerially, he's better in terms of his speed, again, better defensively. Attacking wise, the same now, and again, his vision, his technical, his mental, his physical, all Joe Gelhardt. So I think Gelhardt might be a worthwhile signing to bring in. The only thing with Gelhardt is he's not really proven himself. He had a loan spell at Swansea where he got 5 in 14, which wasn't particularly great. But then was he being played as a striker, or was he being played as a winger? Of course, he can also play as an attacking midfielder. His passing's not really that much cop, but he could play as a shallow striker, no problem. So I don't really know. It feels like a decent signing to make. It wouldn't hurt to have him. It wouldn't hurt to have him at all. It would be a fourth striker. And then we could consider moving Tommy Lee into a midfield position, which is what he prefers to play. You know, he has told me he wants to play as a Mazzala. But he could also play equally as the shadow striker. I don't know. And then the other player is this guy. This would just be a backup holding midfielder, but he's really that good, to be honest with you. I have been looking for holding midfield. There's been a couple of options that we've looked at, but they've wanted like £20,000 a week, and we can't afford that. But the agent has quoted me something different. I don't really understand what's going on there. We also looking at Marcus Dewhurst as a backup goalkeeper. This one's pretty much done. We're waiting for him to sign the contract. He'd be a permanent backup goalkeeper who's a little bit better than the one we've currently got. And then this guy, Matthias Acosta. Now, granted, he's not the best central defender in the world, but he's not bad, and he would come in as a very capable player who's got a lot of potential. If we have a look at the scout report, he'd be a 5-star potential player. Yes, there's issues, but in the nicest possible way, we'd be getting him for £1 million. We'd probably double that, if not triple that. So I think he's a player we could sell him for a profit if he doesn't actually make it. He's got 10 under-20 Uruguay caps. He'd be a decent player. He'd be a very decent player. Anyway, moving on. This is the 11 for the West Brom game. It is Bergstrom in goal, Lyons, Foster, Barnes, O'Brien and Coulson in defence, Doyle, Shackleton, Appiah, Forson and Robinson in the midfield, with Lee and Benjamin up front. I'm keeping Lee and Benjamin up front at the moment because, quite frankly, they've earned it. They really have. I mean, Zach Emerson, I feel really bad for him. He's got to get back into the team at some point, but they are both playing better than he is. It's as simple as that. Ozzy Robinson, I've adjusted some of his things because he's not the best on the ball. So I'm not going to ask him to run with the ball. I'm asking him to get the ball and move it on. And hopefully he ends up playing relatively well. I've stuck with Lyons Foster purely because Frankie Darwell came on in the last match and didn't do very well. But in an ideal world, he wouldn't be playing because he didn't do well last time. He hasn't done well for a while. But then neither has Frankie Darwell. So I'm really hoping that he just shows up in this game. Annoyingly, I think I've just remembered he doesn't play well in big games. So Darwell could be coming on at some point. But as you can see, our form there, we've only won 2 in the last 5, but we've only lost 1 in the last 5 as well. So it's good, solid mid-table championship form. West Brom have picked things up a little bit. 3 draws in their last 5, but they have lost 2 as well. So we're hoping for a decent result in this game. That's the plan anyway. Whether it goes that way or not, it's another matter entirely. We do have home advantage, which does mean something. It definitely does, but I'm expecting to lose this game. But it is a good opportunity. If there's a team that we are going to get past in the FA Cup, if it's not going to be a team in a division the same as ours or lower, it's going to be this team. It's the best opportunity we've got at facing a higher level team. And again, we did get past Crystal Palace in the EFL Cup at the beginning of the season, and they are just above the Premier League relegation zone, so who knows. But then in this game, West Brom are going to be playing without pressure because it's not the league. They don't really care about the FA Cup, but then maybe they do. Maybe they're looking at it as the opportunity to have something nice. Doesn't matter though, because we're 1-0 ahead, and it's Tommy Lee with Ozzy Robinson getting the assist. I did mention we've changed his instructions, so he's going to be a bit more of a pass machine. We've not changed him to be a playmaker. We've just changed his player instructions to kind of give him the appearance of a playmaker, but we're not going to be distributing to him. It's still going to be going through Doyle, but we've got an extra player at the pitch who's going to be looking to play those passes, and he found Tommy Lee there, and it is 1-0 to Tranmere in the FA Cup third round. Get in there, boys. Come on. come on. And it's a tight offside, apparently. We don't care about stinking offsides. I'm very happy with that. Very happy indeed. Ozzy Robinson is a player I'd like to keep next season, regardless of which league we're playing. We're going to be in the Championship next season. I would like to keep him in the Championship next season. I think he would develop well here. We've upgraded our facilities, so I think clubs would be more inclined to leave their players here. We have had that problem where we've really had to convince clubs to let us keep players for more than one season. And I'm hoping now we've upgraded the training facilities. And so a lot of our youth stuff we've upgraded as well. We did it. That's the reason why we're currently in negative money. I'm hoping that because we've done that, we'll be able to attract players to stay here for a little bit longer when they come in on loan. That's my hope anyway. I don't know if it actually works like that in Football Manager. I hope it does, because it's kind of realistic. You'd want to know if you've got good facilities to do your thing. Right, Darbo is going to come on. We're also going to... I'm thinking more about resting players at this point. I mean, it's not a given that we're going to win this game. It's only 1-0. Do have to bear that in mind. I am thinking Emerson could come on for Amari Benjamin. Amari's not done badly today, but he's not done well enough to make me look at him and think we'll keep him on. So I think we'll also take off Pio Forson for the same reason. We'll give Hansen Aaron a game because he has been playing well recently. And we'll leave it there for now. We'll leave it there for now. And we'll see if we can go on and get another goal. They are closing the gap a little bit, West Bromwich Albion. So the important thing is maintaining what we've got. But I would like to extend it as well, because 2 goals are better than 1. Right, Vandenberg looking for Scales. But Frankie Darbo was gunning it there to try and intercept. He didn't quite do it in the end. And we have let them in. And Zola. And we're going to do exactly what I don't want to do here. We're going to concede a goal. I mean, maybe not. Sam Barnes clears it out. And it is a corner to West Bromwich Albion. Now, remember, they are still a Premier League team. They might be in the relegation zone, but they are a Premier League team. So they have got the tools to get past us. If they want to turn on the style, let's be honest, quite easily. At worst, they're a top-end Championship club. We really should be a lower-end Championship club. We're just overachieving. Tommy Dawes not had a good game today, so I think we are going to bring him off. Give him a bit of a rest. He's been in good form recently, so I can forgive him. We'll bring Finlay McAllister on, and he can play as the ball-winning midfielder. And I'm thinking more about tiredness now. I'm thinking let's just make sure that we've got fresh legs. So Jake O'Brien is going to come off. Ben Hockenhull is going to come on. The reason we're doing that one is just for fresh legs. Hockenhull has actually been a reliable hand when we've had to bring him on at points. He's been alright. He's done an okay job. And I'm hoping he'll do the same thing here and he'll just see us through. West Brom have closed that gap. We've not had chances in a while. So it is a tight one, but I think we've just got over the line. We have knocked out yet another Premier League team from a cup competition this season. We knocked out Crystal Palace in the EFL Cup. We've just knocked out West Brom in the FA Cup. We're in the Championship, Stu. Get it right. It doesn't matter where they are in the Premier League. They are a Premier League team, and we have just eliminated them from the competition. So it's now going to be very interesting to see who we get in the next round. We've also got £100,000. That's important. The finances that we have, because bear in mind we still have lower league finances. That £100,000 has helped already. Believe it or not, it really has. So if we can carry on doing that, and we can maybe get to a Man City or a Man United in the next round, and we get a split of that attendance fee. Woo! 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 We've won 3 games in a row as well, which is delightful. Right, when are we going to be back? Let's have a look and have a think, shall we? Okay, we'll play through the rest of January. I think we'll go through the bulk of February as well, and we'll come back end of Feb, end of March, somewhere like that. We'll see whether we get through the FA Cup 4th round. And if we get to a 5th round, we might have a play of that as well. But I'm thinking around QPR and Preston, somewhere in that area. Maybe we do one of the home games either side. So Hull and QPR or Preston and Huddersfield. We'll do some combination of that. But until then, thank you very much for watching. If you've enjoyed the video, please remember to leave a like on there for me. And subscribe so you never miss any of the lovely Football Manager content to come in the future. I've been Stu, you guys have been awesome, and I'll catch you in the next video. Cheers.